Yes. We're talking about the actual existence of God, the arguments generally adduced by the theologians. Yes. In proof of the being of God, the reason. Yes. Then there's the posteriori argument by which we proceed logically from the facts of experience to causes. Yeah. Now there's the cosmological, by which it is proved there must be a first cause of all things, for every effect must have a cause. Yes. Then there's the teleological, or the argument for design. We see everywhere the operation of an intelligent cause in nature. Yes. Then there's the moral argument, called also the anthropological argument. Yes. Based on the moral consciousness and the history of mankind, which exhibits a moral order and purpose which can only be explained on the supposition of the existence of God. Conscience and human history testify that verily there is a God that judgeth in the earth. Then there is the attributes of God are set forth in order by Moses in Exodus 34, 6 and 7. Yeah. Deuteronomy 6, 4, 10, 17, Numbers 16, 22, Exodus 15, 11, 33, 19, Isaiah 44, 6. Yeah. Habakkuk 3, 6, Psalms 102, 6, 26, and Job 34, 12. They are also systematically classified in Revelation 5:12 and 7:12. Now, these attributes of God are spoken of by some as absolute, yes, such as belong to his essence as Jehovah, Jah, etc., and relative in examples such as are ascribed to him with relation to his creatures. Others distinguish them into communicable, i.e., in example, those who can be imparted in degree to his creatures, goodness, holiness, wisdom, etc., and incommunicable, which cannot be so imparted, the independence, the immutability, the immensity, and eternity. They are by some also divided into natural attributes, eternity, immensity, and moral holiness, goodness, etc. Now, I was thinking about the morality of telling me that I'm wrong. Oh, there's the Godhead, the godliness. Now, let's just argue about this just for a second, okay? There's an argument, yes, that you as a court can do anything you want because of the allegation of domestic violence and child abuse. Yeah. But that argument does stand water. Yes. See, I was watching court television last night about the vaccination of children. Yes. And one of the elected representatives in the Washington state legislature made the statement, we are all concerned about children. Now, let's say I was to sue each and every individual that happens to be in office in the Washington state legislature because they make the statement that they are concerned about children. That's right. Now, I'm concerned about my children. Yes, my five sons. Right. They happen to be in the wrong grades, and you would argue, yes, that graduating at 19 and a half years old is not in violation of the laws of the United States. I would say it's child abuse. Ooh. You would say that you're keeping them in the same grades because you cannot admit any wrongdoing. Yes. Because in your non argumentative minds, yes, if you found out that you were wrong, yes, it would cause you an immense amount of anger because you have to come to find out. Now let's argue with Trish today. Ouch! Let's argue with Trey. You say that you cannot give me custody of my sons because of the argument that if you did, I would sue you. Oh, and every day that you argued with me, you kept yourselves from being sued, right? And you kept yourselves from being put in prison, prosecuted, prosecuted. Now we're going to argue today about this right now. Did you do what the law requires to be able to give custody of my sons to my wife? Well, we can look at the dissolution of marriage. We can look at the arrest that took place in May of 2012. We could look at the expungement order where I have no criminal record. We could look at the default dissolution of marriage where Heidi Lee Hodges motioned the court. Then we could look at me never getting any notice of court hearings. Then you issuing a default dissolution of marriage without any proof of service. And then we can look at me not getting an actual copy of the dissolution of marriage. We can look at the marriage certificate that was issued from the United Nations. I'm saying,